Everyone who's a fan of movies has a favorite genre, and it's likely a wide-reaching label like comedy or action or horror, but there are so many shades of gray and likely so many things on your watch list. So here I am, killing two birds with one stone and hoping they don't come back as zombies by bringing you a fun little subgenre to explore and a movie marathon to binge burn it into your tasty, tasty brains. Along with being one of Type O Negative's most oppressively pessimistic songs, it's a sad but obvious fact of life that and when everything dies, be it a peacefully sleeping grandma or a gore-slopped slasher scene, the body must be removed and the location sanitized and, well, somebody's gotta do it. After the EMTs, the cops, and the CSIs from the CSU, there's still some poor schmuck with a spray bottle. These are their stories. Dong dong! Gorehounds, don't abandon me. This list is in order of basic harshness, meaning the movies are going to get more graphic as we go, so stick it out and we'll get there. We've got a long slide into darkness here, so start this up at 6 p.m. and try and make it until dawn. Starting off on the light side of this dark material, we have Sunshine Cleaning. It's a family dramedy about a single mom who, with her sister, switches from cleaning houses to more lucrative crime scenes. With Amy Adams and Emily Blunt as the sisters and Alan Arkin playing basically his same character from Little Miss Sunshine, it's a solid picture and a fun way to start this night considering where we're going. Passing the bloody spray bottle from one A-lister to another, we get 2007's Rennie Harlan directed Cleaner. Samuel L. Jackson plays a single dad and former cop who now cleans up crime scenes. He takes a job cleaning up a suicide in a wealthy neighborhood, but when he goes back the next day having forgotten to return the spare key, Eva Mendes is at the door and doesn't know what he's talking about. So who was the corpse? Who hired Fury to clean the corpse? And is it possible this mystery stretches the whole way back to his time on the police force? Yeah, of course it does. With Ed Harris, Luis Guzman, Robert Forster, Kiki Palmer, and Eva Mendes, this has a solid cast but few surprises. Woohoo! I got the whole way through without even one time saying I'm a mushroom cloud laying motherfucker. In the 1996 Tarantino-produced Curdled, we meet a young woman named Gabriella. Gabriella has been obsessed with death since she was a little girl, even keeping a scrapbook of newspaper clippings of murder cases. So when she sees an ad for post-forensic cleaning service, she immediately applies for a job. Business is booming because the blue blood killer has been beheading rich women all across Miami. Before losing her head, though, his most recent victim was able to write his name in Sharpie on the floor and then bled all over it. So now blue blood killing Billy Baldwin has to hang around the crime scene and make sure he's the one to clean the blood up. Meanwhile, after a bad date, Gabriella wants to cheer herself up by going to the crime scene to reenact the murder. I told you she's obsessed with death. The two run into each other, literally and figuratively dancing around the crime scene, and if that doesn't make you want to watch this, then I don't know. Next, we head north by North Atlantic with this notable entry from Norway. The title looks like fail but is pronounced Tala. So yes, you'll have to read some subtitles, but suck it up, and afterwards you can tell everybody how into foreign cinema you are. Elvis is the new guy at No Shit Cleaning Service. No shit, that's the name, No Shit Cleaning Service. He and his boss Leo get a job cleaning up a dead old man at a cabin way up in the woods, and they discover a secret staircase to an underground prepper bunker / mad scientist lab / torture dungeon, and from the look of the place, you immediately expect there might be some girls being held captive down here. And you'd be kind of right. Except she's not really a girl, she's a Huldra, a Scandinavian forest fairy, making this a must-see for mythological monster fans. It's also got a great grimy 90s music video aesthetic that's sorely due for a comeback. If you missed it on the festival circuit a few years back, now's the time to catch up with 2018's One Must Fall. Strapped for cash after getting fired for refusing to sleep with her boss, single mom Sarah takes a job at messy makeover crime scene cleanup. Business is booming because there's an active, prolific serial killer terrorizing the city of Louisville. Louisville. She and the other new hires get a job cleaning up after his most recent murders in an abandoned paint factory. Funny thing though, Mr. God Complex Killer hasn't left yet. He's just been chilling in the basement constructing a torture chair. Now, with a building full of fresh victims, he locks the doors and just starts brutalizing. Will Sarah or any of her co-workers survive their first shift? I'm trying not to spoil most of the gore for you, which includes a nice scalping and a wicked defacement that are worth the price of admission alone. I warned you we'd be getting dark, and few films I've seen could be called darker than 1987's Necromantic by writer-director Jörg Buttgereit. Yeah, this is like 80s German art house nihilism cinema, so Ich bin ein Bonkers, I guess? That's a Jello Biafra joke. Meet Rob. He's a sad sack kind of guy who works for Joe's street cleaning agency. In his free time, he likes to collect organs in jars and get berated by his wife, Betty. After a particularly sloppy cleanup, Rob is left alone with a rotting corpse, which he steals and takes home, much to Betty's delight. Oh, where do I find a girl like Betty? If you haven't guessed it from the title, yes, they then have a particularly gruesome threesome with the corpse, which puts a strain on their relationship. The thing is, people, sometimes things seem exciting or sexy in theory, but in the moment, feelings get hurt. That's all I'm saying. This leaves Rob in a tweaked off headspace, and things quickly get cat-killingly crazy. And unfortunately, like so many 70s cannibal flicks, this does feature actual footage of a rabbit being butchered, just to warn you. Past all that, this film just looks rough, with minimal lighting and extra grain from having been blown up to 35mm from Super 8. Every frame's crusty, and you'll feel a little bit dirty just having watched it at all. It's a bleak story with an ill-fitting soundtrack and a juicy ending that you're not going to want to admit that you saw. So I think the most important, if obvious, question to ask of these films is, if you were a single parent or introverted 20-something white dude, who would you rather work for? We've got Sunshine Cleaning, with two unreliable bickering sisters. Stare Clean, working with Sam Jackson and her. Post-forensic cleaning service, where the boss is a nice guy and the jumpsuits are styling. No Shit Cleaning service with Sweaty Leo and his Volkswagen. Messy makeover crime scene cleanup with a sensitive hunky boss and his bald jerky buddy. Or Joe's street cleaning agency working with, well, these guys. Vote for the most appealing workplace in the comments below. And here's that lineup again for your next movie marathon. Add in some trailers and snack breaks, and maybe even a cold shower if you're the type to get all hot from some blood clot shots, and then check back here soon for another all-night binge of some strange subgenre. Thanks for watching.